detective here. We've got a live one. Gianluigi Donnarumma, PSG's treble-winning keeper, has disappeared from the matchday squad. No injury report, no rest day, just off the grid. Now, in football, absences like this aren't random. They are the opening scene of a bigger story. And today, we are pulling the whole file apart. Alright, here's the file. Gianluigi Donnarumma, alias Gigio, age 26, height 6'5", wingspan basically half the goal. Profession, professional shot stopper, part-time heartbreaker for opposition strikers. Back in 2015, Milan threw him in at just 16 years old. You remember that? This giant teenager, hands like frying pans, making seasoned pros look like they forgot how to shoot. Within a season, he's Italy's #1. Fast forward to Euro 2020, Wembley, penalty shootout against England. He saves 2 spot kicks, barely celebrates, walks off like he just found a parking space, wins player of the tournament. At that point, he's not just Italy's future, he is the future. 2021, PSG swoop in, big wages, big project. Neymar, Mbappe, Messi, and now Gigio between the sticks. This was supposed to be the start of a dynasty. And last season, treble, Ligue 1, Coupe de France, Champions League. Donnarumma played every single minute of that Champions League run. The man was a wall. So, how did we get from that to this? A seat on the bench and a replacement already signed? Clue 1. Now, in any good mystery, there's always that new character who shows up, and suddenly everyone acts different. Enter Lucas Chevalier, 22 years old, homegrown, PSG's shiny new toy. He's not here for the guided tour, he's here to take the keys. And Enrique? Oh, he's smitten. Young, French, calm on the ball, the kind of goalkeeper who could order a cappuccino, play a 1-2, and switch play to the opposite flank before the foam settles. This isn't a signing for the future. This is the guy you start building the present around, which means somebody's getting nudged towards the door. Clue 2. Now, PSG fans. They've got memories like elephants and tempers like Parisian cab drivers in rush hour. Donnarumma's had some absolute monster games, saves that defy physics, Champions League nights where he looked carved out of marble. But then there's Madrid, round of 16, the risky dribble, Benzema pounces, goal, and suddenly every replay in France is a slow-mo of Gigio thinking he's Pirlo for 3 seconds. Paris doesn't forget, and when the Parc des Princes turns on you, oof! You hear it in the whistles, you feel it in the cold stares at the supermarket. Clue 3. Luis Enrique's keepers aren't just keepers. They are, how do I put this, midfielders who happen to wear gloves. They build from the back, play one touch under pressure and start attacks with laser passes. Think Ter Stegen, but French. Now, Donnarumma's an incredible shot stopper. Top 3 in the world, no debate. But is he the guy you want playing a 30-yard diagonal to the winger with 2 strikers pressing him? Let's just say Enrique's heart rate might not survive the season. Clue 4. Follow the cash, folks. It never lies. Gigio's on about 300k a week. PSG's new offer? Performance-based, less guaranteed, more bonuses. Translation, we don't think you'll play every game. Now, if you're a 26-year-old keeper who just helped win a treble, that's not a negotiation. That's an insult wrapped in an Excel spreadsheet. That kind of deal doesn't scream, "We believe in you." It whispers, "Pack your bags when you're ready." Clue 5. And this is where it gets interesting. United, Chelsea, Bayern, Inter, Madrid, all circling. But here's the strange part. No one's made the first move. It's like a high-stakes poker game where everyone's staring at each other, waiting for someone else to throw chips in first. Because here's the risk. You move too early, you pay top price. You move too late and he's already signed elsewhere. Meanwhile, Gigio's just sitting there, gloves clean, waiting for the right project. The question is, who's gonna blink first? So here's where the puzzle really stops being a puzzle. You don't need whispers from the dressing room. You don't need inside sources. The moves PSG have made are practically screaming the answer. Look, new keeper signed. Not some kid for the academy, not a backup just in case. But Lucas Chevalier, 22 years old, first choice material from day one. They didn't bring him here to learn. They brought him here to start. Then you've got the contract situation. They sit Gigio down, smile politely, and slide across a performance-based deal. Now, let me tell you something. When you're already one of the highest-rated keepers in the world and your club suddenly offers you less guaranteed money, that's not encouragement. That's corporate speak for, we're not sure you're the guy anymore. And hanging over all this, that wage bill, £300,000 a week. PSG's accountants probably have that figure circled in red pen with 3 question marks next to it. Because if you can swap him for a younger, cheaper French keeper who actually fits Enrique's play out from the back obsession, well, suddenly you've freed up millions to spend on your next Galactico winger. Then there's the optics. They didn't just hint at this, they made it public. Leaving him out of the Super Cup squad? That's not a casual decision. That's the football equivalent of unfollowing someone on Instagram and liking their ex's holiday photos. It sends a message to him, to the fans, and most importantly, to potential buyers. Now, the market. Oh, it's juicy. Manchester United, Chelsea, Bayern, Inter, Real Madrid, all lurking, all curious, all watching like sharks that can smell blood. But here's the weird part. Nobody's made a formal bid. Not one. Why? Because this is classic transfer window chicken. The first bid sets the market. Come in too early, you pay a premium. Wait too long, and you risk missing out completely. So they're all standing on the edge of the dance floor, waiting for someone else to take the first step. Meanwhile, Gigio's in limbo. One day, you're the treble-winning #1 in Paris. The next, you're training like normal, but quietly wondering if the kitman's already packing your gloves into a box. And here's the real danger. Every day he waits, the dominoes start to fall. Another club extends their keeper's contract. A promising young shot stopper pops up in the market. The World Cup gets closer. That perfect project he's been holding out for could disappear before he's even had the chance to say yes. So, if you ask me, this isn't just about where will Donnarumma go. This is about timing. In football, timing is everything. And right now, PSG have the clock in their hands, and it's ticking. And here's the twist. This wasn't just a football decision. PSG played it like a business. They knew there's a World Cup at the end of the season. If Gigio sits on the bench, his spot for Italy's national team is in danger. So, what do? They bring in his replacement now, then offer him a pay structure that basically says, prove yourself if you can get on the pitch. It's not an exit order, but it might as well be written in bold. And look, Donnarumma's not naive. He's seen enough transfer politics to know when the writing's on the wall. But he's not about to jump at the first offer either. His camp keeps saying the same thing. It has to be the right project, which in football agent code means right money, right league, right chance at trophies. Alright, so let's talk suspects. The clubs who might make a move. If Onana leaves, they need a commanding #1 immediately. Donnarumma walks in, no debate, starts every game. Big wages? No problem. He gets the Premier League spotlight and a team in rebuild mode. Downside, United are, well, in rebuild mode. No guarantees on silverware soon. Enzo Maresca wants stability at the back, and right now Chelsea's keeper situation is, let's call it rotational. Gigio brings instant authority and experience, but Chelsea's project changes every few months. So, is it stable enough for him? Here's the curveball. If Ederson leaves, Pep could go bold, but Donnarumma's distribution isn't exactly Ederson level. He'd have to adapt, and quickly. The upside, Pep turns good players into great ones. Neuer's time is ticking. Bayern love keepers with presence. In Germany, Gigio could focus on what he does best, stopping shots, without as much pressure to be a playmaker. If he waits, Madrid's door might open, but Lunin and Courtois aren't exactly placeholders. He might have to bide his time. The sentimental move. Back to Italy, back to Serie A dominance. But Inter's finances aren't bottomless with their matches wages. Here's the problem. Every week that passes, those doors start closing. Clubs fill their keeper shots early. By the time Gigio decides, the right project might be gone. If he leaves now, he guarantees game time before the World Cup. If he waits, he could land at a bigger club or end up sitting in Paris with Chevalier playing every minute. It's career poker, and right now, PSG just raised the stakes. So here's my verdict. PSG wanted a style shift and a wage cut. Donnarumma wanted stability and respect, and this was never going to end with both sides happy. I think he goes to the Premier League, but the real question, is he wearing red or blue? All right, detectives, your turn. If you were in those gloves, where would you go? United? City? Bayern? Drop your verdict in the comments. And while you're there, subscribe. Because when this case finally cracks, you'll want to be the first on the scene. This isn't just another transfer. This is career crossroads. And the next chapter, it's coming fast.